Up, y'all? Howdy, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's having a good day here. It's good to see a bunch of you guys on the free workshop last night. We had super good vibes, good energy, a lot of good questions, and kind of breaking down sourcing methods and stuff. If you registered, we texted out the recording as well, by the way, in case you missed it. And then the next one will be in 2 weeks. So yeah, excited to hop on, answer any questions you guys have about selling on Amazon real quick. If you guys are new, I've been selling on Amazon personally for over 7 years at this point. It's been my full-time income for like 4.5 of those. Just buying and selling name brand stuff that you can get from Walgreens, Target, Walmart, specifically online, rather than like going out to retail stores a ton or buying from wholesalers and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know what questions you guys have as we're popping on in here. And if you want to learn a ton about selling on Amazon for free, I've also got a 5-hour long free video on YouTube that you can dive into as well. Just look up Fields of Profit free course. Live this time every Thursday as well. If you want to come pop in and ask any questions. What's up, Lewis? Said, yes, sir. I did study economics. All the good the college degree is these days. I technically did study it. Yep. Let's see. Did you do the same? Is that why you're hyping that up? Let's see. Seems hard to get ungated with Amazon. How do you go about that? So the nice part is it's easier than it's been in a long time because of the new Boxem feature. So you can literally just go into Boxem, go to bulk ungate, and then click suggested ASINs, and then you'll get ungated in like 50 to 100 brands for free. That's like super easy, like low hanging fruit, something that was not really possible until recently. So you can take advantage of that. And then anything that lets you apply to sell. So for example, if you tried to sell, I don't know, like Tommy Hilfiger clothes or DeWalt tools, something like that, then you'll just get an invoice from wherever you bought it profitably. You don't need to worry about like wholesale invoices and stuff like that. Let's see. Taking econ right now. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I definitely like that stuff. Let's see. Let me know what other questions you guys got. How much capital did you start with? How long did it take you to see profits? So I started with like the $1,500 that I made as like a high school kid, basically. Working at Walgreens. That was my startup budget. And then I was able to get to year one was about $30,000 in profit, selling like used books and just like anything I get my hands on. And that's what year one looked like for me, at least. And I've seen people make a lot more than that in their first year recently. I've seen people make less than that in their first year. It's just kind of like the amount of effort you're able to put in, essentially. How do you open a wholesale account? You'll just email like distributors or brands directly, that kind of thing. If you're wanting to get into wholesale, you need to figure out how you can offer just like a little bit of extra value that goes beyond just like, hey, we're going to buy a bunch of stuff from you. You need to convince them why it's worth it to sell to you as well as everybody else they're already selling to. Let's see. You have $1,000 just to start and learn. Cool. Yeah, I had about that much when I started as well. So I had about that much when I started too, man. So that's a good place to start, for sure. Let's see. And you're on a let's see. You're on a hidden comment on TikTok, hating on random people on the internet. Am I supposed to be like the one not doing worse than you here? Come on, man. Like, never seen anybody who's having a great life like coming into random comment section and start complaining and stuff. It's just not what winners do. Let's see. Do you really get sales if you're not in the buy box? Yeah. So you definitely can on items that are suppressed. So if it's a suppressed listing where there's no buy box or anything like that, then you can make sales. Otherwise you'll need to win the buy box, which you can do by making sure your price and shipping speed is equal to everyone else. Interesting, Avery. What's up, man? Let's see. We'll be going live next week to talk a little bit more about it. But for those of you guys that want to come to like an Amazon event here in the near future, I'll be at Miami Sellers Conference in May, by the way. Avery's in the YouTube chat right now talking about the conference and stuff. Let's see. You need coaching. So I just do it all for free on YouTube, man. So you can just look up Fields of Profit on YouTube. I don't do really like one-on-one calls or anything like that. Just focused on helping as many people as possible and building good software. Let's see. How much have you actually made after your Amazon fees? Yeah, so usually your gross profit as a seller, if you can be around like 20% gross profit, anywhere from 15 to 20% gross profit with online arbitrage specifically, and that's pretty standard. Or you want to be after your like net expenses, you want to try to be above 10%. If you're doing like high volume wholesale, I know some people that are in like single digit margins. For me, I hire people to like source, ship, manage everything, stuff like that. So that obviously cuts into my margins. I'm shooting for 10% net margins, um, so that I can spend 30-ish minutes a day running my business, and focus on some other tasks. Actually enjoying life, stuff like that. Obviously, you could work harder and do more things yourself and have higher profit margins. It's just like whatever is interesting in the business to you. Let's see. Does Boxem have an affiliate program? Yeah, so we share 30% commissions. So you can get that for life. You can just look up Boxem affiliate program. Lots of people have been crushing it lately. Let's see. Teacher got confused when you randomly mentioned the buy box going up and down. You're trying to make your econ teachers really confused or something like that. I like it. Let's see. That is see, my name is not Noah Asa, so that'd be a different person. I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. It sounds like somebody else's product. Let's see. You're a bit confused. Do you physically ship to Amazon FBA or do you start shopping FBA first? So yeah, so everything I buy will be like this. So like this, right? This like Halo toy or whatever, right? Everything I buy, I'm gonna ship it to my prep center, and my prep center is gonna send it off to Amazon FBA. Yeah, and then it's going to check in at the warehouse and stuff like that. Let's see. Hey man, if you want to give away your time for free, go for it. Like it's there. It's there for people who want it. I'm gonna make sure we got good vibes going on in here. I'm gonna do that. Should have done that a while ago. Sweet. Yeah, we got good vibes only in chat today. Let's see. Do you have your own warehouse? I do not personally. But some people will. I use a prep center. Yeah. So I'll use a prep center. I'll pay them like per unit, and then they'll ship everything out to Amazon for me. Or you can go the warehouse route. I just didn't want to manage like a bunch of employees and stuff like that. You definitely can. You'll have slightly higher margins if you do, but not my preferred way. Let's see. Do you use QuickBooks for accounting? What would you recommend? So honestly, I just use my Boxem P&L report combined with Google Sheets at this point, because Boxem will track all the like complicated things, and then the only other things beyond that you need are like boxes and software and stuff like that. That's pretty easy to just like track on a Google Sheet. I don't mind doing it. I know some people hate like bookkeeping and stuff like that, so you can get stuff for that if you want, but it's not super complicated as long as you have like Boxem to track all your Amazon expenses. Those can be pretty complicated if you don't have a software. Let's see. Appreciate. I'm not hiring from from chat today, but hope everything's going okay for you, man. Let's see. When is it time to consider a repricing tool? What's up, Shonda? How you doing? A repricer usually makes sense once you have like 5 or 10 items, because before that, like every time you want to change your price, you're going in manually and like matching prices and stuff. So if you get to the point where you're spending like 2 hours a month repricing, you're valuing your time at like $20 an hour, which hopefully you should value it a little bit more than that as a business owner. And you're probably spending more than that repricing. So yeah, once you get like a handful of items, you can get like try Flash Pricer. You can try Flash Pricer for free. That's what I've been using recently, because they'll do Walmart and Amazon, and the rules are pretty good as well. But yeah, I just knowing where you're at, Shonda, it probably makes sense for you to get a repricer. Let's see, what kind of thing do you sell the most? It depends on the time of year. Like during the holidays, it'll be like toys and shoes and stuff like that. This right now, it's probably still like majority like clothing and stuff like that. But it's more weighted towards like groceries and vitamins and stuff like that in the first half of the year, and then it'll go more like giftable type products towards the end. Let's see, 2.5 gross. So I shoot for 10% net after I pay my employees and software and everything like that. You want to be around 20% gross margin, so you have plenty of wiggle room. But yeah, I pay people to source everything, ship everything, manage the whole store. So obviously that reduces my margin more than somebody who's doing a ton of the work themselves. But yeah, let's see. What's up, Max? Appreciate good vibes, man. Appreciate the good vibes. Hope you're having a good one too. Just answered that, dopamine. You can listen in. Let's see. Sweet. Let me know what are the questions you guys got here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. What does auto ungated mean? So auto ungated items are things that anyone is approved to sell right from the jump, compared to items where most of the time, like if you want to sell Starbucks, you'd have to buy Starbucks from their website or from Target or something like that and upload that invoice. Auto ungates don't require you to upload an invoice before you sell those brands. And you can automatically like scrape for those brands that don't require any auto ungating using Boxem. So like kind of the first step when you're getting started as an Amazon seller, if you want to make it a lot simpler, you can just go into Boxem, make that list of things that you're auto ungated to sell, and then start storefront stalking those brands. And if those words sound like rocket science, there's a free course up in my profile, or you can just dive in on YouTube. If you look up Fields of Profit on YouTube, that'll be the way to go as well. Let's see. How do you start? Yeah. So if you just like kind of do what I was just breaking down there. So get auto ungated on Boxem. Learn how to source, like do the basics of sourcing on the Fields of Profit YouTube channel, and then like set a goal for yourself to spend $50 on inventory or $100, whatever is just like a reasonable, like nice starter amount for your like startup budget, basically. Don't spend all the money you have like right from the jump. You want to kind of ease yourself into it. Otherwise, you're gonna buy a ton of one product right away, and you just maybe make a mistake that you'd realize was a mistake a week later. Just kind of buy as many different things as possible. Get 1 unit here, 3 units here. Learn the basics, and then you'll realize like what's working well and what's not. Let's see. Aside from Keep a Seller App and Boxem, are there any tools, specifically AI, that are useful for new Amazon sellers? So like I'll use a little bit of like Gemini or whatever. It's like standard like the AI models, but the Boxem AI is specifically for Amazon sellers. That I use that one a good amount as well. But yeah, I mean, obviously you already mentioned Boxem in that, so it sounds like you're good to go. Let's see. Is Etsy okay? So I don't sell on Etsy personally, but I know people who do make money on Etsy. At the end of the day, like the one of the biggest things I say is like it has never been this easy for regular average people to make money online. So whether it's Etsy or Amazon or eBay, I don't care. Just take advantage of something. It's we got too much opportunity in front of us right now with internet money, and yeah, it's just way easier than it ever has been to start a business. Let's see. What's up, Eleanor? You said a bunch of people always want to charge like $5,000. Yeah, I don't offer any like expensive coaching or anything like that. Yeah, helping out a bunch of people for free, and then we do have paid resources, of course, for people who ask. But yeah, not not $5,000 for sure. Let's see. Do you really need an LOA or brand direct invoices, or are brand direct invoices enough for ungating? Like an invoice will be good. If you're buying directly from the brand in general, you're going to be pretty safe. Yeah, like the directly from the brand's website, or especially it sounds like you might be buying directly from the brand in general. Let's see. You wouldn't know where to start. Yeah. So like the easiest concept to think about is if I want to compete with other people who are reselling on Amazon, what products are other resellers selling? The easiest example of that is products that are only sold at other retail stores, right? So that's going to be Great Value. That's going to be Target's Up and Up, like things like that, right? So if you go to those listings on Amazon, then you have huge lists of other resellers who buy from retail stores, and then you reverse source off of that. You try to reverse engineer those products. That's like the super basic like concept that'll help you find like those first products. But yeah, and then obviously on top of that, there's plenty of nuance and stuff. The biggest of which being you're not looking for items that just like slap you in the face, like, hey, this is $10 at Walmart and it's $30 at Amazon. You should buy this, right? Sometimes that'll happen, but it's not super common. What you are looking for is, hey, this item is $20 at Walgreens, it's $30 on Amazon. Usually we need to buy things for about half of what we want to sell it for. So how do I save myself $5, right? Maybe I find a coupon, maybe I find a discounted gift card or cash back or loyalty points, right? It's going that little extra step to create extra profit margin and do the things that like your competition's not willing to do, right? So when just like in all businesses, it's pretty much true. Like what's the extra step that I can take that is worth taking the extra step that other people are not doing? For online, for like reselling, it's how do I create those extra discounts? How can I spend an extra couple minutes researching that product to get it as cheap as humanly possible? Let's see. What's up? Avocado said, thanks for the advice and videos. Got you. Yeah. Glad it's been helpful. Let's see. How can you start? Yeah, so I was just kind of breaking that down. For a lot of you guys, I know a lot of you guys on TikTok have like very beginner questions today. There's a free course on YouTube you can watch. I would just recommend watching that. Just look up Fields of Profit free course. It's like a 5 hour long YouTube video. Let's see. eBay is a great way to sell items that you purchase that you can't get ungated in. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, eBay or Walmart, those are good to have as like backup marketplaces to Amazon. Some sellers say to stay away from large sellers. At the same time, small sellers tend to tank prices. What's the sweet spot? Interesting. Yeah. So, um, yeah, like there's not really any major reason to avoid large sellers, unless like typically the only items I'll avoid if it's sold by a bunch of like huge Amazon sellers is if it is like clearly like a wholesale deal or like some kind of pricing I don't have access to. Otherwise, like I'll compete with sellers a lot who have hundreds of thousands of feedback. As long as my price and shipping speed is the same, like I'll still make sales, like on a basic level. And then yeah, I mean, if you're running into items where the prices are dropping after you're purchasing, it's not necessarily because you're competing with smaller sellers. It's more so because you weren't adding enough extra discount methods. Or at the end of the day, like not everything you buy isn't always going to be profitable. Like that would be if it is, then you will be very, very rich. But not every single product you buy is not always going to shake out how you hope. You just need to make sure that every product you buy, you're doing everything you can to make all that extra profit margin, like we're talking about, with discounted gift cards and coupons and stuff like that. That way, if something does go wrong, you've still done a little bit of extra work to protect the margins, and it's not just like relying on that face value pricing. Let's see. I shoot for about 10% after I pay my team to do all the work, Mantisa. Let's see. Dropping a product in 2 weeks. How do you advertise or market your product? So I don't buy ads or market or anything like that on Amazon. I just capitalize on existing demand. It's like the way simpler way to get started on Amazon. But good luck with the product launch though. 3 or 4%. Yeah, that'd be pretty low. I don't know if I've ever met a seller who's that low on profit. Or at least willing to to admit it to me, I guess I should say. Yeah, I have met like wholesale sellers who are doing like $10+ million a year who are in like the 7 to 10 profit range. But that'd be pretty low. Especially like for what I do, like arbitrage is going to be higher margins than wholesale. Wholesale is more of like a volume game. Arbitrage is spending a little bit more effort for higher profit margins game. It's so hard for you to find profitable products in Canada. So, I mean, the concepts are going to be the same as like the US. So, if you've watched any of my YouTube videos or just like the free guides that are up above or down below, depending on what you're watching, those are great places to just like learn how to find some good winning products right from the jump, basically. Sweet. Let's see. If a product is listed as used, can Amazon still request invoices or proof of supply? I don't know if I've ever run into that personally. I don't. I think you'd be safe. That's kind of the point of selling things as used, is if you are not confident in your supply chain documents to prove that it is new. So if you bought it from like eBay or something like that, those would always be considered used condition. But if you're buying them from like Walmart, those would be new products, obviously. Um, but yeah, I don't know if I've ever had that. See, yeah. So if you guys are wanting like the free YouTube course, it's just Fields of Profit free course. There's also a ton of free resources up in my bio or down below. Let's see. What's up? Hazy said, so you're doing FBM. So I do a little bit of FBM, but I'm mostly an FBA seller. Just because it is like it's a little more scalable, that kind of thing, to send it all off to Amazon at once rather than ship everything out individually. But yeah, you can definitely FBM is more of like you can test the product via FBM and see how fast you're able to make sales, and then FBA to go deeper. Let's see. Do you need to ask brands to sell their products? So not necessarily. You do need to do your due diligence to make sure you're actually allowed to sell the brands from like a account health perspective. And that would just be making sure that the listings in that brand have plenty of like resellers on them. So that would be lots of listings with 3 or more sellers. I'm also going to make sure that brand is not listing that product themselves on Amazon. And I'm also going to make sure that there's never been like you can look at the history, like you can see the entire history of an item on the seller amp chart. And if I ever see a bunch of people like fell off all at once, where like the brand kicked people off, I would avoid that product as well. But Just like a couple like simple checks you'll do to make sure the brand that you want to sell is safe. Let's see. If you have brand direct invoices, are you safe for supply chain authenticity? Yeah, if you're buying directly from the brand, you're good. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Feel like I was stuck at 2.5 for a while. I didn't need to scale more. So I mean, I could. I just have to like hire more employees and stuff like that. I just like the scale my business is at right now. Um, Definitely could, but yeah, I just like the business where it's at. That's the thing. Like, run the business how you want. If you want to run a business with very big numbers and very stressful problems, then scale it to 9 figures. If you want to keep your 9 to 5 job that you like and you just need to make an extra 5 grand a year, make an extra 5 grand a year. Right? Run the business that you want to run. That's the biggest thing, right? Don't be somebody who's on day one of your business looking at somebody who's been on selling for 10 years and be like, man, why am I not there, and vice versa. Let's see. How do you deal with refunds that seem unfair? If something arrives late, you get debited. So if it was an FBA item that the customer wanted a refund for because it was late, that's Amazon's job to refund. So if they messaged you, just tell them to reach out to Amazon support. That's like covered on our end. We're not responsible if Amazon ships things out late. Amazon has to cover those refunds. Let's see. Can you rely on historical data on the Kiba charts when sourcing? You heard they can be inaccurate. Yeah, I don't know what kind of inaccuracies you've heard of before, but yeah, for sure. More money the better. Sure. Yeah. If your goal is to build a huge empire, then do it, man. I like the scale my Amazon business is at. I would also be probably 10 to 20 million a year if I was only selling on Amazon, but I have other businesses that I'm working on too. Just get a little diversity, that kind of thing. Boxem compare. Yeah, so Boxem has more features than that software. For example, you can make shipments on Boxem. You can't on that other software there, Corona. Yeah, just a lot more valuable, basically. The AI assistant, you can also bulk ungate on Boxem. Yeah, just a lot more valuable. Let's see. Can you apply to get approved to sell a product before you purchase, just in case Amazon does not authorize you? No, because to get approved to sell a brand, you need to have purchased it. You need to have an invoice for it. So no. Yeah, but like at the end of the day, all you have to do is buy 10 units. Like, even if the product is $100 each, it's $1,000 to unlock an entire brand, and that would be like a pretty dramatic example. Usually, you can just buy like a $5 product in that brand to get ungated. Do you use VAs in your business? Yeah. So I've hired VAs to like source all my products and manage all the products. They're the ones talking to Amazon for me, stuff like that. Free up my time so I can do stuff like this. Yeah, I would definitely. That's like the easier way to like scale an Amazon business as you go. It's like kind of why online business is good in general, just because you can hire some like overseas help and stuff. Do you only do OA? Yeah, at this point, pretty much. I'll hop on the occasional wholesale deal, but pretty much all OA. It's just the business I like running. Let's see. Cool for sure. Yeah. Let's see. What's up, Sean? You said, same you just answered. You want to make sure you understand. If you sell as used, is there any risk of an IP complaint? So I actually did have one like 5 years ago, and it's the only one I've ever seen. I've never heard anyone else get a used IP complaint. So generally, like, you're very safe on that. But technically, it is possible. I got unlucky a long time ago on that. What are VAs? Virtual assistants. So for me, those are employees that I've hired from, like, my team's in the Philippines, and I'll just train them on how I do what how I like to source things and stuff like that. They'll just go and replicate the methods and work off that. They're salaried, that kind of thing. Just training people to work for you, basically. See, do you do affiliate marketing? Not really. Not on Amazon, that kind of thing. Although, yeah, my fiance does a little bit of Amazon affiliate stuff, but I do not. It's mostly selling the actual stuff. What's the ROI? Usually for arbitrage, it'll be like 30 to 40%. We're pretty much right in the middle there, on average. But yeah, usually for arbitrage sellers, your average gross profit will be 15 to 20%. Average ROI will be anywhere from 30 to 45%, depending on like the size of the product. Sometimes, depending on weights and stuff like that, you might have higher or lower ROI based on shipping speeds and stuff. Sweet. Do you sell any private label or just resell? Just reselling right now. I've had a couple like private label ideas at some point, but just haven't gone that route. Obviously have other projects and stuff, but let's see, do they earn a lot through affiliate marketing? Nothing. No, it's nothing crazy. Yeah, she's just doing this like for fun kind of thing, just like a little for fun money task. She might do more later on. Sweet. Not sure what you mean, big. Let's see. What's up, CZ? So, how do you manage stress? Sometimes very poorly, sometimes well. I mean, the biggest thing, like, just make sure you're taking care of your body. That's the biggest thing. Learned that the hard way. Went all in on making money and stuff, and easy to neglect the health as you scale. So just make sure you get your walk, get outside, that kind of thing. It's equally as important as making sure your bank account's taken care of. Let's see. How hard is ungating? I mean, you can press auto ungate on Boxem, and you'll get approved to sell like 50 to 100 brands with a click. And then anything else that you want to sell, you'll get an invoice from wherever you bought that profitably. Now, keep in mind when you are submitting invoices, it's normal to get declined. So you usually have to submit like 5 or 10 times on average. It's just like the reps are just like not doing their jobs recently. So can be frustrating, but beyond that, like it's not difficult to get ungated. Let's see. You're an Amazon affiliate and need some advice. So I don't really do Amazon affiliates. So that'd be out of my wheelhouse. I physically buy, own the products, and sell those to customers. Do you source mainly locally or online? It's pretty much all online. Yeah. So the main workflow. So like the average day in my Amazon business, overnight my time, my employees in the Philippines are sourcing products, usually anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 worth of inventory, depending on how many sales are going on that day. My manager, who's also a virtual assistant, will review those products. He'll send the list of everything we need to buy, how much to buy, what coupons to use, off to my buyer. My buyer's just like a friend here in the US who logs in. They're paid hourly. They buy everything for my Amazon business, and then they ship everything off to my prep center. And then the prep center receives everything and sends that off to Amazon FBA. When those products get to Amazon FBA, they ship out to the customers as they sell. So kind of built it in a way that doesn't require so much of my time. I don't have to like touch products and that kind of thing. Do you have brand direct deals? Not at the moment. I've done some brand direct in the past, but yeah, just more so just flipping some stuff right now. Let's see. Did you hear some of the big box stores are closing down? Big Lots on shut. Interesting. I didn't see it. If Big Lots is shutting down, like anytime you guys see those like big store closures, like those are always super profitable. Let me see. I see some from last year. Revelations. I know Big Lots was closing some stores last year. If you see one near you that like is honestly like any retail store, if they're closing near you, there's going to be a bunch of clearance, and that clearance is usually like super well priced for flipping some of that stuff on Amazon. So you get the deals while you can. Yes, sir. Good vibes. Revelations. Let's see. How long do you let items sit at FBA before considering taking a loss? Good question. You're asking a lot of good questions. Resale. Oh, you got resale on the name, so you've been taking this stuff seriously. So like I'll usually wait 21 to 30 days. If I don't make a sale, I'm going to lower the ROI to like 10 to 15%. It's also going to change depending on it's also going to change depending on how much like risk there is involved in the product or future potential for the price to go back up. So let's say like right now, if there's an Easter product, I wouldn't lower prices on anything because obviously Easter's not here. If it is like winter gear, I'm probably going to lower prices a little more aggressively because it's about to start getting warmer, right? But yeah, usually 21 to 30 days, I'll start lowering prices. 45 to 60 days, again, depending on like future prospects and stuff, I'll lower to like break even. And then at 90 days, I'm pretty much going to try to make sales as fast as I can. Let's see. How much your business owes a wholesale versus OA is 95% OA. Let's see. What are margins? So I shoot for 10% net after I pay my team to do all the sourcing, prep work, actual work on the business. You want to be like 20% gross margin, 20 to 25% gross margin, so you can afford to do that if you want to like turn it into a real business, pull yourself out of the business kind of thing. Sweet. it's probably a good place to go ahead and wrap for the day. In case you guys are new to the streams and stuff, I'm live this time every week for Boxem office hours. You can hit this little bell and subscribe on YouTube, or if you guys are on TikTok, go subscribe on YouTube and come pop in and ask questions and stuff. Fields of Profit free course to learn a ton of the basics. It's like a 5-hour long video that'll teach you everything. And I will see you guys again very soon. Let me know in like comments and stuff if you guys have any other questions as well. And awesome. Appreciate you guys tuning in today. You guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you next time.